As we bring this series on covenant to a close, I hope that what has been made clear so far on season 5 is that there is no replacing covenants in Scripture. It's about recovering what was always promised. From Abraham to Sinai to Levi to the prophets, all the threads of covenant point to one redemptive story. The promise to Abraham was unilateral and unconditional. Sinai did not replace that promise. It established a nation within that promise. The Levites mediated after the people broke covenant. But before Sinai, before Levi, there was a Melchizedek, priest king of righteousness, an eternal order that our Messiah is restoring us back to. What we discover in our Messiah is the restoration of a priesthood and understanding how Torah is administered within this new priesthood. And this is why we cannot say the law is done away with. The new covenant is still rooted in the unconditional oath sworn to Abraham, now administered through the order of Melchizedek. This priesthood restores access, it fulfills the sacrificial system, and most importantly, more than anything, it shows us the heart behind the Father's instructions, behind his commandments. The covenant story is one of continuity and fulfillment. There's no replacement going on. So when believers say things like Christians are under a different covenant than what was given to Israel, they are unintentionally disconnecting themselves from Scripture and separating themselves from a nation that they are called to be grafted into. And this is devastating because most of us have believed this our whole entire lives. But the reality is, if you believe that, if you really believe that, you are actually separating yourself from the covenant story, from the promise given to Abraham. Abraham was promised in Genesis 12 that he would become a great nation and be a blessing to all the families of the earth. That promise included land, inheritance, and blessing to his seed, which we now see fulfilled in Messiah. And that all sounds great and encouraging and good, but if we don't really know what that means and what that actually requires of us in order to inherit those same things being in Messiah, then we're missing the whole point. We're missing the whole story. We're missing the entire covenant thread of what the gospel is, which starts in Genesis. And then in Genesis 14, we meet Melchizedek, king of Salem. Salem means peace. He's priest of the Most High Elohim. He brought bread and wine to make peace among kings at war. This was a foreshadowing of Messiah, who, at the Last Supper, broke the bread and had wine. And he said, "This is my body, this is my blood of the new covenant, which is shed for you, my body which is broken for you." If you've been following along in this podcast season, then you understand why that statement right there actually connects us back to Exodus 24. Hebrews chapter 9, verse 19 through 20 connects this directly to the blood of the covenant in Exodus 24, verse 8, where Israel agreed to become a kingdom of priests. All that you have said, we will do and be obedient. Messiah embodies that promise, tying all children of Abraham back to the original covenant. That is the significance of the Last Supper when it comes to the new covenant. He restores priesthood, he fulfills the sacrificial system, and he secures access to the Most High for all who believe. The new covenant is not some disconnected covenant from the story. It's the fulfillment of everything pointed to by Abraham and the order of Melchizedek. It's the fulfillment of everything pointed to by the promise given to Abraham and the unconditional oath sworn to him by no one else than the Most High.